So, hopefully this is the real deal this time. Like I said, both players going on the shank. Ooh, interesting spawn. They're quite close together. Obviously, they don't know that, so we may see, oftentimes on this sort of thing, one player will go like across to here, and the other player will go across to here, and they end up missing each other. Interesting that SayMyName is going for this sort of like sweeping search line instead of going straight for the center. Yeah, I feel like he's even further away from the center than he went last time. Maybe just trying to catch one of those outer elephants here on this one. The center of the map's being a little bit skewed. I feel like these elephants are maybe slightly off center. No, they're still fairly central, but the other two are in that area over there. Genie is maybe going to be a fraction too late. Ooh. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of tussle here for sure. Genie getting the villager, trying to bonk SayMyName a couple. He's going to try and block the villager here. The elephants need to lose line of sight to the villager to drop aggro. And it looks like Genie, unfortunately, isn't going to be able to lame those elephants. He could get lucky and just find the other two here. SayMyName found one of his own elephants. That's one of the other ones back there. So Genie does actually, okay, gets lucky and finds both of those elephants there. So it is going to be a couple of elephants apiece, or is it? Surely Genie's going to grab both of these. Okay, must have been doing something back here for the time being. So SayMyName not quite getting as good of a start as he did last time. Obviously, managed to grab 3 of those central elephants. It's 2 apiece this time. He does get those back nice and quickly, where for Genie it's going to take a little bit longer for him to get those back to his base. Where his elephant there, a little bit far away on the south side there, so he's going to have to do a little bit of exploration. Does have some quite nice berry patches at the back of his base there though. Oh, well, he's a little bit short on the exploration. I was going to say, if he did find that, it's going to be a nice source of food for him to have in a pretty safe spot. Genie with a fairly wallable map. He can just try and wall to the edge of the map here. It's a little bit more open here, but not unachievably wide. Whereas SayMyName, you can see, is much more open base. He might try and close off in this sort of area, but although that doesn't leave him with much space. I feel like, from my memory, SayMyName has a tendency to not push his gazelle, which sometimes puts him in the spot of bother against very strong opponents. But obviously he's pretty strong himself, so sometimes he can get away with that. And let's have a look. Very low idle TC time. SayMyName very fractionally more, which is a little bit surprising for me. As we both see Genie with 7 villagers in queue. You might want to cancel some of those, as you can definitely click tool age, and there we go, it does cancel a whole bunch of those. A little bit short on food. SayMyName has got 20 and managed to go up. I don't know if that's just a consequence of those elephants taking a little bit longer to come in there. So yeah, you can see that idle TC time crept up a little bit for Genie here. And then here we go, classic SayMyName, 2 forward villagers. It tends to do this quite a lot. This just covers off. Sometimes if you only send one and the villager gets caught out, then your forward doesn't work. But like I said, SayMyName, unfortunately, looks like he's going to the opposite side of the map. Doesn't quite know where his opponent is. And yeah, he's sending the artifact to have a look around as well. Barracks isn't too far away, but obviously I think he's still expecting Genie to be in this sort of area of the map. Genie has not started building barracks of his own just yet. Doesn't quite have the wood. There we go. It's going down now. And SayMyName can be able to... Is he just going to put down the stable straight away? And like I said, unfortunately not quite in the right direction. He is making a clubber. I think he's realising now... Oh, okay, he spotted the barracks there with the artifact. So Genie now knows that SayMyName knows, because he took the artifact of him. And we've got the house wall. I think this clubber just for a little bit of initial exploration. As you can see, there's no pit upgrades or no Axia upgrade coming in. a second barracks from Genie coming down, and the armor coming in. He's not making any more units though, is Genie, interestingly, and it is going to be scout and not scout, sorry, stable and archery range, as the clubber still doesn't have any upgrades on it. And the first scout comes out. Genie is trying to wall up. I don't think he's going to have time to prevent this one scout from coming in. Obviously a single scout not going to be too threatening for the time being. Obviously the combination of two is going to be a little bit difficult to handle. So Genie may lose both of his wall villages here, and that's going to remain open. Should be able to get this sealed up on the south side. Obviously it's open on the east side over here. And Genie is getting the... Oh, well, yeah, I've just noticed. I was getting confused between the two players, but Genie's blue, obviously. So just getting the battle axe. Now, just going for those close walls. Does have a little bit of health in all those walls there. So, Scout's trying to get in. One villager on the outside, though, is going to get picked off again. It's going to get a third villager being taken down. Counter Axeman is going to get a kill in there. Just sneaking one in from Genie. And, so yeah. Berries have all been collected. I don't know if Genie did fight. Okay, he does actually spot them there, so maybe he'll try and grab those later. But yeah, Bowman already being very pesky. I'm interested to see... Oh, okay, Genie used all of his stone for those walls. I was going to say, I'm surprised Genie hasn't added in a couple of defensive slingers. The reason for that is he's got no stone. His stone is just outside there. Maybe you could try and... And if you deleted the wall and built a pit like right on the edge, so there's a one tile gap, maybe you could start gathering some stone there. It has a little bit of wood spare. House does go down from the initial scouts. Bowman gonna trap Genie in. He's trying to build defensive bowman on his own. Like I said, just try and do some damage back. And yeah, there we go. It does grab those berries there. There's actually an elephant there as well, which would be nice to pick up. Didn't find that earlier. Yes, it's going to be a very difficult situation for Genie to be in now. SayMyName's still only on 19 vills. He was on 20, but got one of those killed. It looks like he did deal with that Axer at some point, unless Genie brought it back. But another house does go down. Genie on the edge of his population limit. It's going to need to try and add in some more houses at some point. Another couple of villages do go down. Second range. Genie a little bit pinched for food at the moment, but he is going to be able to get a little bit of food coming in from the berries down there. Like I said, saving him for the time being. And Genie could potentially put down some farms now. I don't know how much Genie has paid attention to the new changes. Like I said, he was checking the civ changes for the patch, so I don't know. Sure. Okay, actually, no, he did. Okay, there we go. He is putting down some farms. So, like I said, new change in the community patch is you can now build farms without having to build the market, which makes that transition a little bit easier in this difficult situations. It looks like he deleted the farms here and he's decided to rebuild them all here, because I can't click these farms, so I feel like he's started building them and then just deleted them all. And just another house going up to try and reblock the wall. But yeah, axes gonna be a little bit difficult. It's got 5 axes. There's just a couple here. A few of them more in the barracks. Where are the other ones? I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's hard to wield the axes once this many bowmen are in play. And yeah, Genie does delete a wall. I don't know if SayMyName actually saw. He should have seen the villagers slip out there. Scouts could potentially find this. Genie trying to quick wall the houses. I think he needed to try to use a bigger building, but he didn't have the woods to do that. So yeah, just going to have to delete those houses. One villager is going to be a sacrifice. Hopefully Genie can get these out. Do we have any more units? I guess, yeah, all of SayMyName's military buildings are on this side. It does have an archery range at home. But yeah, scouts go in the wrong direction to find the villagers. And I think Genie is going to be able to clear up these units that are immediately in his base, but obviously he still has this huge chunk of bowmen running around. And can... Ooh, okay, this isn't good. SayMyName maybe spots out the little farming eco there. Yeah, you can see a farm now. But he's still just pushing in the front side. Scouts wrapping back around here. And don't know if Genie's going to be able to do much. Yeah, Axe's just going to get taken out. And that leaves the scouts free to just try and run down the bowman. Potentially, this might be a GG call. There we go, with all of the military being taken out there. And it was a good effort from Genie to try and hold the position, but it was just a little bit slow to the punch. And unfortunately, he was going for the walls, and that initial villager just got picked. Yeah, no, we are on the wrong version of Desert Ridge. We're not on the Rise of the Ancients version. Oh well. Let me just so I can see the chat again. That said, this doesn't look... Because on the original version of the map, you're normally closer together on the tiny map, but there's still... I think like this is still the same sort of... the correct sort of map size. But anyway, Desert Ridge is dominated by the big ridge in the middle of the map. There's usually plenty of elephants here, 13 in the middle. And actually I think it is the smaller map, because normally there's more elephants than that. Genie going for... Oh, okay, so Genie does use the Persians, so he's going to try and take advantage of that hunt bonus, and he goes to the ridge straight away. I think he may have seen... Oh no, he didn't, he came through this way. You might see that elephant going through on the way back, though. He does go that way. Obviously, with the extra hunting bonus for the Persians, as many elephants as you can get, and it looks like he is just going to have... is he going to go all the way down to the end, or is he just going to take the 3? I say just 3, in context that there's a large number of elephants on this map. SayMyName, for the meanwhile, is exploring more closely to himself. He does find the artifact early on for a little bit of extra exploration. And unfortunately, if he goes up to this area of the ridge, he's going to be found wanting, as Genie's already taken up most of those. Yeah, Genie bringing back a nice number of elephants. I think he just... Is that the classic one-tile miss? Yes, it is. That's a little bit unfortunate for Genie. He does have his other elephant at the back there as well. Yeah, because one of the other things is... On the Rise of the Ancients version that's on the map, the elephants spawn a little bit closer to the TC if you're an elephant, so that I noticed in the Highland map that some of those elephants seemed a little bit further away than usual. And I think that was... Okay, I was going to say not intentional. That surprises me. Does he... Oh, he doesn't see the gazelle there. I would have expected a storage pit going up around this sort of area. Is he going to spot that elephant there? Feels like Genie is just slightly missing out on the optimal placement. So obviously it's easy for me to say when I can see everything. But yeah, something I didn't point out is SayMyName is on the Assyrians, which, like I said, was a possibility. Usually, you're fairly distant from your opponent. You can see, like, SayMyName's like right up near the edge of the map here. And indeed, SayMyName's map is like very wallable. A little bit awkward with this hill here. But you can see that, and yeah, in fact, SayMyName already sees all of his wood lines here. So as long as he gets a fairly decent tool time, which he is going to get, both players 21 seconds idle TC, and both players on 20 vils, so they will get up exactly at the same time. It should be fairly easy for SayMyName to wall this up. Genie does have a forward villager, although I say that, and SayMyName is still going for his forward play. And this is just going to be scouts again, and barracks forward from Genie. And the Persians do have that faster working stable, as well as you should expect them to have way more food at this point, which they do at the moment. Just from the hunt bonus. But the hunt is starting to run out as Genie hasn't found... Oh, it's another one tile miss on the elephant there. It's very unfortunate. Oh, archery range is just going to be the immediate follow-up for this time, which does make sense as this series. You get the faster attacking bowman. I think Villager just managed to get away with not being spotted there. Genie doesn't have the... Okay, he's built an archery range at home. I was going to say he doesn't have the wood to build another military building, but he did build that at home. And he's trying to sneak. Surely not. Surely this doesn't work out. But yeah, defensive tower already down for SayMyName, so most of his economy is going to be fairly safe. And don't know how much action, aggression the Gliss Club is going to be able to get in. Axers do already have the armor upgrade in. Needlework actually is in for Genie this time, so one Axer is not going to be a problem. Whereas in earlier versions of the game without needlework, one Axer with armor in can be lights out on the spot. We do see a couple of follow-up units here, but again, just a couple here should be fairly easy for Genie to deal with, especially as he has those bowmen in defense. And let's see what Genie's doing on the front. He snuck in another barracks. He's trying to add in Slinger, getting a few different sorts of units. Genie will spot his gazelle now. Another archery range going down. But yeah, I think... Okay, he's going to spot the elephant now. I was going to say Genie's a little bit pinched for that food resource again. Yeah, didn't find... oh, it looks like he did find the elephant there in the end. Another battle raging on here. I think SayMyName just has the more units at the moment, and not quite a few villagers either. Is going to get those involved with the fight. And is he managing to do much on the front side? Doesn't seem so. He's trying to collect stone from that area there. Don't know if that's just to give that village something to do, and a lot of villagers going down already. And this is already looking like trouble for Genie. Should be able to take out that Axer if he just picks it off, but he's going to lose a lot of villagers in the process. Already 7 down. And these Assyrian machine gun bowmen. Slinger does come out, but only a single Slinger isn't going to do enough, I think. He's got 3 villagers on stone now. He does spot some berries, but I don't know if he's going to feel safe now. Okay, he's going to go up to the ridge and try and gather some of the more of the elephants there. That's not a bad idea, as long as those villagers don't get spotted. SayMyName is starting to add in villagers again now, so the villager count is going to start sneaking up. Genie down to 17. So actually, even though he's lost 9, Genie was still creating villagers, so he isn't as far behind as maybe you'd expect. Well, GG is just called there. I was going to say a lot of damage has already been done. That's the problem. And yeah, unfortunately, that tower there just pretty much denied all of the early aggression from Genie. And yeah, that second barracks is his best pick for the map. And so yeah, let's have a look at the spawn here. So there is a game paused. There is a central river. Let me just check that we're not doing anything wrong here. And SayMyName has much better water for his own pools than Genie does. Unfortunately for Genie, does have that. Yeah, there are some fish in there. 9 shorefish and a snapper. But you can see that SayMyName has access to these pools, which have quite a bit more food in there. There is the Central River, so if one of the players can get control of that, then it means obviously you can take control of the crossings as well. And we'll see if that comes into play, or whether or not SayMyName will just manage to get another early rush off. So Romans, like I said, aren't the strongest of earliest game service, but they're still fairly good with that cheaper building discount. Just means you can have a little bit, maybe like take an extra villager off wood and put them on the food resource and just have that extra resources to spare. And also you can get things like your first storage pit down a little bit quicker, stuff like that. Just get that efficiency for the wood gathering going nicely. Does spot out one of his early elephants. And yeah, you can see here, you can just see that the elephants are much closer to the TC on the Rise of the Ancient spawn. I think on the standard maps there's like a bigger range that the elephants can spawn in, so it's a little bit more random, whereas the Rise of the Ancients means it's in a more consistent ring around your base, which makes it just a little bit easier to find those elephants. And Genie does find both of his this time. And SayMyName did spot that one there. Is that the classic one tile? No, that's a 2 tile miss on that one. But yeah, he's going to be able to bring that elephant in. He's been pushing some of his ibex. And what do we see here? 22 seconds idle time for Genie as he sets up some storage pit. That's fairly nice for the ibex there. And he obviously does see he's got a pool there. I think he's probably going to be a little bit disappointed with the size of that pool. Yeah, it just doesn't feel as great when you're committing like that wood to building fishing boats and stuff, and it's only got a limited number of resources. Obviously there's still nearly, just over 2,000 food in there, so it's still definitely worth doing, but just not on the same. Yeah, you can see it's like, oh no, I've snuck some on the top side in there, like, yeah, probably about 4,000 if not more in that one pool for SayMyName. Has SayMyName actually spotted? Yeah, he does see the little pools, and he has spotted one of the crossings with the artifact, I guess that was. Yeah, Genie gets control of the artifact now. But there are indeed 2 crossings. So, yep, double villagers coming forward for SayMyName. So it is just going to be another forward again for him. 20 pop up, 17 seconds idle TC time. Genie, a lot more idle TC time. Looks like he is setting that dock up now. Does click up. SayMyName effectively 50 seconds ahead on that tool time. And like I said, villagers are coming forward. Genie going to put down his barracks now. Barracks going down for SayMyName. Actually, is this artifact going to spot out the barracks? No, I don't think it is. Oh, perhaps. Not quite. Wow, that's so close. Does find the crossing. Oh. 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 No way. Oh, I was going to say if that missed. That's crazy. Okay, so he does spot. I thought he was going to slip past for that for a second. Watchtower again, I guess just going up. Going to go up on the wood line again for defences. Archery range coming down and follows. Fishing boats are coming out. Well, Clubman in defence. SayMyName still doesn't quite know. Well, he sees the Gazelle corpses there, so he should know more or less where his opponent is. Axa upgrade coming in, following the infantry armour. And archery range going to be the follow-up for Genie. I think the armour is already in, yeah, so Clubber. Okay. Yeah, infantry armour not quite in for Genie yet. Genie can maybe plug up, maybe just put a single wall section in, and then just try and sort of wall here, this sort of area. He does have the fishing eco being set. I say that, he's only got 1 fishing boat. Might want to try and add in a couple more. Big problem for Genie so far this series is he's just sort of like run out of food resources as most of his economy has been forced idle. And those initial bowmen are going to start being very pesky. Slinger transition a lot earlier for Genie this time. And Axa must have needle work in. Yeah, there we go. Does get taken care of. Does lose the 1 villager, but at least he's going to be relatively safe for now. That one wall section does go up, but the bow is going to follow up afterwards. Sling's probably going to get taken down by the Axa there. And this wall's not going to be very effective against the bowman. Slinger again, taken down by that Axeman. And the Villager's on the run. He's going to be able to take that down. What do we have? We have a single bowman. Slinger's in queue. And yeah, Genie unfortunately calling the GG straight away. So like I said at the start, I did suspect that the games were going to be a lot faster there. And Genie maybe just a little bit of panic mode there. And like I said, that